Alright, so I'm back at the park here. I'm gonna just sit out here on the tailgate. So this is a nice little area to come film a little bit here and there. So hopefully it doesn't get too noisy. Alright, so I want to talk about seeing is believing. Alright, so when I first started doing this in 2019, I went out and first started looking for footprints using my tracking skills, my hunting skills. I went into a few different areas of Green Swamp, searching around. So it didn't take very long to start finding footprints, and footprints that I could tell were not human. And then I started actually using my tracking skills and bringing science into this too, with the measurements, measuring the foot, the length, the width, measuring the step, then the stride, the angle of the gait, the straddle, and being able to tell these were not human. So then I went into other areas too that were like a two-hour hike just to get up into an area where there was no sign of any other humans, and the only access is when you're hunting to even get close to that with a vehicle during the hunting season. So this was closed then, so you had to hike in. So finding footprints coming right out of a swamp, right out by the river, and finding more around that area, up in there around that area that were the same size. So when I start finding stuff like that on my own, seeing it with my own eyes, and then believing that these beings were really real. They were really out here in this area of Florida, the Green Swamp. So after finding several different areas, well, actually I found a couple different areas where there were footprints. I was finding the footprints, and using my tracking skills, I got where I could go back. I could go back and find the footprints, and I learned I could keep going back into the area and finding footprints. So I knew they were in this area, they were hanging out in this area, hunting or whatever they were doing in the area. So hopefully that's not too loud. This camcorder really picks up stuff too like that, so hopefully it's not too loud. So I know the kids are going to be over playing on the swing sets and all, the slides and all over there, the kid area. So hopefully it's not too loud. But anyway, being able to go into places like that, and then being able to find finding hairs on barbed wire fences, and going through and collecting all the different animal hairs, learning about the forensic sciences and how to study the hairs. And when I first started finding these hairs, I sent them off to two different Bigfoot researchers, and they confirmed to me that they received the hairs, but then they never did anything with them. So that's when I decided on my own to go ahead and start doing this on my own with the hairs, studying them, and learning the forensics, learning what to look for, how to look at them with the different microscopes. So learning all that and being able to see the hairs and study them. So that's more seeing is believing. And then once I actually started realizing I was catching them on my camcorder, catching them on the footage. Once you actually start seeing stuff like this for yourself, seeing it with your own eyes, the footprints, the hairs, and learning the tree structures, learning certain tree structures that they make, and then realizing too that there's certain tree structures, when you find those tree structures, then they're in that area. It's not just a marker where they were passing through. That's an active area. And then when you actually start seeing them on your own footage, and I've caught them on every camera I have, even the drone, I've caught them on it too now. So that's more seeing is believing. So it's really something when you actually start seeing these on your own film footage. So you can go out there and take photos, you can take video. I only take video, I only do video. So every photo you see of mine's actually going to be a screenshot. So really seeing is believing. Once you're actually seeing this stuff with your own eyes, you're seeing them on your own camcorder footage, or your own footage with your own eyes, and you're seeing it yourself, that it's your own footage that you took, then you're really believing. And so I've caught all kinds of stuff. I've caught orbs, I've caught UFOs, I've caught a lot of these different beings in the different areas. So now this has took us into Ripley's Believe It or Not. Since I'm talking about seeing is believing. So now I have stuff at the Ripley's Believe It or Not in St. Augustine with my name on it. So I sent them a lot of stuff. So they were wanting to use evidence. So they used a lot of my stuff showing evidence. They have a lot of my photos showing tree structures. They have some of my stuff showing the footprints, the footprint casts, and then also some of them actually tracking the footprints. A video of mine where I was tracking them, short video. So they have quite a bit of stuff there. And then also the hairs that I looked at for Kathy Westerman. Hairs that her and her group found, Bigfoot World. So I did a study on them for her, since I learned all the forensic stuff with the microscopes and learned what to look for. So now they have those hair samples there too, with my name on it and with her name on it. So that's really cool there with the Ripleys. And then you have stuff with David Shealy. They have some of the footprint casts that they got from him, and they show his video that he took in 2000. So this is it's pretty cool going up there and seeing that on their grand opening. The grand opening day they had Saturday the 17th. Going up there and seeing that, seeing all of our stuff in there and all the stuff they have in there. So I'm gonna put all those pictures in here too that I took, and I'm borrowing a few here too from my daughter Robin and from Kathy. Some of the photos that they shared too as well that they took. So I'm gonna share all these on here too for you. Show you what Ripley's Believe It or Not has and what they're showing for the cryptids. This is their cryptid section where legends live. So this is really cool. It's really cool having my stuff in there like that in Ripley's. Growing up watching Ripley's Believe It or Not on TV and things that they showed, and then the St. Augustine Ripley's Believe It or Not. They just had their 75th anniversary, being there 75 years in St. Augustine. So now they have just added this cryptid section to it, and they're talking about adding one in the Tennessee. Their Tennessee Ripley's Believe It or Not, and actually they're taking Kathy's handprint and putting it in the Tennessee Ripley's. And so they're going to do a cryptid section there. So maybe they'll ask for some of my stuff too to go in there. So anyway, it's finding evidence on your own, seeing it with your own eyes, and then seeing them on your own videos. And I've actually seen two of them with my own eyes now too. I saw one during the daytime running. It was gray color. It was as big as I am, as tall as I am. And then I seen one at nighttime walking out of an area that we had been set up in filming, and walking out. I didn't have any cameras on. We were walking out, headed back to camp, and it was dark. I had my flashlight. I was in the lead with my flashlight, and I saw a juvenile, a red juvenile. I seen him stand up and take off running. Right. He was probably like 8 feet from me, 9 feet from me. He was kind of squatted down in just a little opening in the palmettos on the side of the trail. He was kind of squatted down there watching us. So as we got within about 8 foot of him, he stood up and ran. And I saw him in my flashlight. He was red. And he was probably about 4 foot tall, 4.5 foot tall, something like that. I don't think he was quite 5 foot. He could have been between 4 to 5 foot, but I don't think he was quite 5 foot tall. He was obviously a juvenile. stood up and took off running. So I could feel him watching us then too. I could feel him watching us. I've got to where I get that sixth sense like the Vietnam veterans were getting. And I can feel him out there watching us. So, so that's another thing too to add to this. Another part of the seeing is believing. You know, it's part of your senses. Seeing all this evidence with your own eyes, seeing them on the videos, my own videos, and then it's really cool now being in Ripley's, believe it or not. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all all this stuff and all this. Show y'all all the pictures and stuff from Ripley's in the cryptids section here. Put this on there and then put all the pictures on over this. Alright, so it was I've been doing a lot of really serious, hardcore research with finding everything that I've found and researching and learning how to do all the different things, learning how all the forensics, the game cameras, using the different cameras, the drone, all the different stuff that I've done, all the different videos that I put together and edit. It's been a lot of work, and I have a lot more to go through. I have a lot of footage to go through still, putting videos together. I have quite a few videos yet to put together. footage to go through to get to it. So I encourage people to get out and film, get out and take photos. Get out and take photos at night. See if you're going to catch some orbs and stuff at night, probably. But I just wanted to end this video here with talking about that a little bit. With getting into Ripley's like that, it's been a lot of work. Getting all my evidence, finding it, getting it put together, doing all the different research I've done, all the learning that it's taken. So I've done a lot, and I got a lot more yet to go. I got a lot of, like I said, a lot of videos to put together right now with all the footage I've been taking. Doing a lot of comparing a lot of stuff too. From going out one time and then going out again and putting stuff together and comparing, and where I've caught them on film, and then I go back and I compare, and I compare me being up in there to where they were and the size differences, and doing some refilming at night to see what the camera's doing and how things look, doing a lot of comparisons there. Alright, so off to the next one then.